Have you ever looked into the story of Zayd and Zainab? It's one of those moments in history that really makes you hit the brakes and question the motivation behind certain revelations.
I've heard the names, but I don't know the details. What's the story there?
So, Muhammad had an adopted son named Zayd. Zayd was married to a woman named Zainab, who was known for her beauty. One day, Muhammad goes to visit Zayd, but Zayd isn't home. He sees Zainab in what's described as a nightie. Basically, she was barely dressed.
Okay, that sounds like an awkward family moment, but where does it go from there?
Well, Muhammad leaves praising Allah, basically thanking Allah for allowing Muhammad to see the beauty of Zainab. Muhammad felt a desire for her.
Wait, his own daughter-in-law? Even if it's by adoption, wasn't that a massive social taboo back then?
Exactly. At the time, the people viewed that as essentially incest. It was a huge scandal. So Zayd ends up divorcing her so Muhammad can marry her. But the community is outraged. They're asking, how can you take the wife of your own son? And let me guess, a revelation conveniently appeared to smooth things over? Right on cue. Muhammad claims it wasn't his choice. He says, "It's not me. Allah ordered me to take her. I had to." He points to Surah 33:37. In that verse, Allah supposedly says he needed Muhammad to marry her specifically to show other people that it's okay to marry the ex-wives of their adopted sons.
That seems like a very specific niche problem for a creator of the universe to worry about. Were there really that many guys losing sleep over whether they could marry their adopted sons' ex-wives?
That's the point. It's absurd. I've never heard of anyone in history wrestling with that moral dilemma. And even if they were, why did Muhammad have to physically marry her to prove it? Couldn't the Quran just say it? You don't need a live demonstration for every permission.
It does feel like a very elaborate way to justify a personal desire. But what about the incest label the community was using? Did that just go away?
This is where it gets even more suspicious. In the same chapter, Surah 33, Allah suddenly abolishes adoption altogether. He says adopted sons aren't real sons. So in Islam today, you can care for an orphan, but they never truly become part of your family or carry your name. Hold on. So the reason Muhammad had to marry her was to set an example for others with adopted sons, but then adoption itself was deleted right after? Precisely. It's a total logical loop. He says, I have to do this to show it's okay for the future, and then immediately says, by the way, this situation will never happen again because I'm getting rid of adoption. So the rule was created for a practice that was simultaneously being banned? Exactly. When you look at it objectively, it looks less like a divine decree for humanity and more like someone trying to justify every impulse that popped into his head. It's hard to see it as anything other than a convenient cover story.